Hello there, my name's Barbara Gray of Clarity Stamp here in the UK and welcome to YouTube Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. Today I thought it would be interesting to do some landscaping, a wintry scene perhaps, using some dye-based inks and our Clarity blending mat. So let's get started. I'm using the other card, which is a really top quality stamping card. From Clarity, and I'm going to use a black archival ink pad and one of our tree stamps, the Forest Ridge, and I want to just stamp it across the scene. There we go. So I'm going to just stamp it once there and then stamp it again so it goes from one side to the other. This is actually one of those stamps that can be joined seamlessly. It's very cool, watch. So I'll just, oh, the joys of transparent stamping, eh? Right, there we are. You'll never know that it was one stamp being continued. So we'll put that to one side. And then I want to use our masks. So I think I'll use a realistic mask, a moon mask, and I'm just going to pop my moon about there. These are cool, look, they're great, and you can use them again and again and again. Right, so we'll put that mask there. Now let's have a look. I don't want to use an archival black ink pad with my brayer unless I want to see it permanently black, so I'm going to use Adirondacks and our blending mat. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's do the sky. I shall turn my card around because I'm left-handed, and I'm going to load some blue onto my blending mat. This is denim. There we are. And I'm just going to stand up for this, and I'm going to just spread out my blue. And let's just transfer. You see there's no blue here. Let's just get rid of the blue on that edge, and then I'm just going to spread across like this. There we go. And just go backwards and forwards, and I'll go back into my mat and I'll reload and come back again and again and again, and I'll just keep reloading my blue like so, and it gets darker and darker, you see, but because I'm staying away from this edge, see there's no blue here, it looks airbrushed, which is great. Now, if I want to add a bit more, then all I need to do is go add some more to my mat. And when you lift the brayer, you see, it goes into the mat. It's fantastic for dispersing the ink and then metering it out to me. So there's no ink there, you see. And once again, I'm going to just spread my colour through like this, and down I come. It's good, isn't it? Right, you see now I'm coming right down beyond the trees. Look where the brayer actually is. So it's very dark up here, very light here, which is what we're after. Now, if I wanted this to be even more dramatic, I could actually take a little bit of black now on my brayer, and I could mix some black in with my denim. And what you'll find is when you do this, this is what the blending mat is perfect for. But when you do this, you see still no colour at this end of the brayer, very important. But you'll see that my sky instantly turns to a night sky. Okay, and down we come again a little bit further. Spot on. So let's have a look. If I turn this around now, let's take a clean piece of paper behind us so we can see what we're doing. We've got a really nice night sky. And if I take away my moon, let's just lift the moon off, then it becomes even more apparent how dramatic that sky is. So I'm just going to replace my moon there on its home base. And now let's take a look at this area here, and I want to use my blending mat, so I'll leave my blending mat there, and I'm going to use some makeup sponges, of course, and then I want to take a piece of copy paper. I'm going to tear my copy paper across like so, so I've got some hills, And this will help me now to add some shadow. Now this is a pure coincidence. I couldn't have done it better than that. Brilliant. I love it when it works. And what I want to do now is add some depth and some shadow. So I'm going to actually take the colour off the blending mat, you see, with the makeup sponge. And then I can just hold the torn paper in place, and then I can just add some depth, you see. So I can go through like that, make a mushroom. That's better, Barbara. Right, so I can pick up some ink there, and then I can come through here underneath the trees, and I can add some depth. And it's quite dark, and it's a wintry night. That's what we're trying to conjure up here. Let's have a look. So you see how we can just add some, by taking the torn paper, we can add our colour now and take the ink straight from the, that's the cool bit. Right, there we go. So just move your torn paper around until you start to add shadow in the right place. There we go. Let's move this one. Let's go over here for a moment. Right. Just round we come, like so. So I'm just going to do this for a little while. There we are. So then the other thing that we can do, let's just leave that there for a moment. We can also create extensions. So for example here, I've got a little shadow coming here. So what I want to do is take my paper now, my torn paper, and line it up with that edge there, and then just continue the black line art. Here we are, look, let's take this one. Just take the black line art and move through with it. And you'll see that it looks as though there are almost like little snowdrifts. Watch. See what I'm getting at? Good. So let's make a couple more of these in different places. Let's make one over here, for example, just randomly, like this. Let's see if this is working, shall we? No, it's not. Right, let me just get some more ink. Let me just make a mushroom, hold that in place, get some more ink, and then we'll try again. Right, so you're going to build up your colour now. So you can always add it, but you can't take it away. So I'd rather start really lightly and then build up my colour and my shade than have a great big black splodge and then not. There we go. That looks really cool. See, so we're bringing in our snowdrifts. Now, to make this really apparent that this is what we're doing, you see what I mean? It's cool, isn't it? I've got a little set. Let's just, while I'm telling you, let's just add a little bit more up here. I've got a little set of home stamps I want to show you, because there's a little doggy, a little dog, a Labrador. I used to have Labradors, but they're on Rainbow Bridge now, aren't you, Dutchie and Duke? I know you're watching. There's a beautiful little Labrador stamp that I want to use. We're going to set him actually in the snow. So let's have a look. And before we do it, let's get the dog. Let's have a look at the stamps first. Sorry, I'm jumping everywhere here. So you've got the two cats and the dog, and you've got the cottage. You've got all these lovely stamps. This is a remountable home set. I love it. So there we go. And I'm going to use Dutchie the Labrador. And what I want to do is just make a little area here. Get my dog ready, all mounted, and I'm going to use the black archival for this part. Okay, this will be cool. And then I'll just use my makeup sponge. I'm going to hold this tight, and let's just make a little shadow around the base now of where I'm going to put Dutchie. So I'm going to just use the blue and the black mix that's on my blending mat. There we go, this will work. Right, so this is going to just be the dip that the dog is in. Let's check it out. There, that'll do. We can always add some more. And then I'm going to take my black lab And I'm going to stand the back of the black lab in the actual snow. So that means that his feet, or her feet, are actually going to be on here. See, when you lift the... Isn't that cool? So it looks as if the dog is actually treading through the snow. Make a great little Christmas card, wouldn't it? Check it out. There we are, you see? I like that effect, don't you? So if you look from the top now, it's starting to really come together. I want to add one more. I think we need just a little bit more blue along here, don't you? So let's take a look here. And we can use a makeup sponge if we want it to be dark. And we can use a brush if we prefer it to be more subtle. See, the makeup sponge always gets you the result much faster and much darker, you see? I'm going a little bit too dark here. So let's just ease off, because it's not going to go away by itself, is it? Right, so let's have a look. So we'll just add a little bit like this. And if you feel that it's a little bit patchy or it's not quite what you had in mind, like I do at the moment, let's take a brush. And I'm just going to load up a blue brush. There we go. Let's just take a little bit of blue off the, this will work, off the blending mat, like so. Right, I think I'll be happier with this. And then we're just going to add a little dusting of blue across the bottom here. And you'll see, look, how subtle this is and how quick this is. We're just going to hold that in place and we're just going to dust through a little bit of blue with our stencil brushes. These are pretty cool, aren't they? There we go. See how quickly and how efficiently you can do that. Right, so let's just take our brush and I just want to add a tiny finish around the bottom. I've got one more thing I want to do. No, two actually. She lied. Right, one more. First, I want to add a word. You could add Happy Christmas if you felt like it, but I'm thinking about my old dog now. So let me just add one of the words from word chains that we make. This is pretty lovely, and I think that you'll agree this works very well. There we go. I'm just going to add friendship at the base. Super. And then the last thing I'd like to do is add some snow. So let me just put this to one side before I lean in it. This works best if the sky is completely dry. So if I was to leave this piece of artwork for about an hour to really dry, then the snow would certainly come out even whiter. And all I'm going to do now is just add a few dots with a white pen. There we are. We'll just run some white through the dark night sky. And I think this looks rather delightful. Less is more, as they say. And you can come down into the snow here even if you've over-egged it a little bit, like I have in this corner, then you can actually add a little bit of snow to lighten it up again, which is great. And if the ink, the dark blue ink, isn't quite dark enough, isn't quite dry enough, then you may just have to go back in over the top to bring out the snow a bit better. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. One of the things that I have done is, over the years, I've recorded loads of DVDs. I think I've got 6 now. And there's one in particular that I wanted to flag up to you. If you like this kind of artwork, landscapes and building scenes like this with a brayer and blending mat, then the one that I recommend is this one, which is number 5. It's a double DVD. There are two DVDs, and we have it on good authority for our American viewers that although the DVD may not work in your DVD player, it most certainly should work in your computers, most of these computers nowadays can take our English DVDs. So this is a great reference library. It's over 6 hours long, believe it or not. If you get sick of the voice, you can always turn the sound down. But if you go to our website, I think you'll find that it's a very good price too. So there we have it. Landscaping, a nice wintry scene, could be modified just a tiny little bit and make a great Christmas card. It's a little tribute here to my black labs. And I hope you enjoyed it. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye now.